Welcome to class. Today we will talk about health. All right, health. I know it's not sexy, but I don't care. Health is the most important thing in everything. Nothing else in philosophy matters. Whoops. What is health? That looks terrible. All right, what is health? It's the most important thing. It is core. All right? It is your core. Actually, let's make the core a little bit bigger today so that we can write you. You are the health, you are the meaning of everything. This is a shell. Shell. And so, I will explain my philosophy again, because you have to understand this. Most people, they just, they go externally inwards. We go inwards externally. That is super important, all right? That is the key here. You gotta have this mentality, or you will fail at everything. You have to focus on your task, your work, your life, all right? Life is brief. Life is short. All right, I will explain what happened yesterday. There's a story in my life. My father was in a car accident yesterday. He's fine, everything is fine. No, he can walk, nothing in, only some scratches, nothing else. So he was very lucky, and he was with his bike, he was riding, and then the car, behind the bike, it hit him. So life is brief, all right? Life is brief. So take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, all right? And excel. Excel this. Excel your core. We gotta be a force. We gotta be a force, a phenomenon. A phenomenon. We don't want mediocrity. We want to be a phenomenon, all right? All right, that is ultimate health, because we want to excel in life. We want to excel. We want to be a king. All right? You're a king. You're a leader. You want to create something for your family. You want to create a family. You want to create something that will last forever. You want a legacy. You want to be remembered. But if you want to be remembered, you got to live a life that is worth, not just remembering, that is worth living. All right? It's not just about other people's memory of you, all right? It is about your life. That is most important, because life is experience. Health, it is experience. Behind all of this lies experience. Without experience, we're nothingness, all right? I already explained this, but I gotta just reiterate everything. Life is brief, so be light, be hope, be the light. Be the light in the darkness. Be the light in the darkness. All right? Almost everything is darkness. Be that light. Be that beacon of hope. Be it. Become it. If you aren't it yet, become. Becoming. And you are becoming this by improving your health. You gotta focus on your health, your core, all right? And then you move outwards. You focus on core, and then you move outwards, all right? So the same, you know, with a hero, the hero's journey, you know? You focus on the small village, your core, where you're born, your birth, your family, everything, your core, and then you move out into the world. You move out, you sacrifice yourself into the world so that you can bring stuff back into yourself, but not just into yourself, to your family, which is your core. So it is part of yourself, technically. So you go into the world, and then you go out into the world, you sacrifice yourself. And then the treasure is always your health, all right? It will elevate you. If you elevate the world will elevate you. If I elevate you, you will elevate me, all right? But this is just in a bigger sense, all right? If I elevate the world will elevate me. All right? Because it's the same thing. If I elevate you, I help you, you will help me in some other way. Doesn't matter what it is. I mean, even if it's just feedback, you will help me. So if you have some success from my work, if I helped you, then that will give me a direction and it will elevate me so that I can, you know, move forwards up in my mountain. I helped you starting your mountain, for example, or even excelled your mountain. Start, excel. But by helping this, you know, I can only move upwards, you know, even further. By doing that. All right, now the black won't work anymore. You see, perhaps I helped you in the start here, or I helped you with excelling, but this energy here, we can call it energy, whatever we want to call it, that will just get added on mine. You know, I'm here. Me, you, or you, new. New, beginner, or something like that. Beginner. All right? I call you my genius same spirits. You are my genius same spirits. You are my golden seeds. That is the whole point of what I'm doing here. Your health is your core. All right? That is the whole point of everything. Everything. Most. With the blue there. All right, because without your health, how are you supposed to, without a foundation, without your health, how are you supposed to do your work? How are you supposed to do your work? All right? How am I supposed to do anything? How am I supposed to help my family? How am I supposed to help my friends? How am I supposed to help anyone? How am I supposed to help myself? You know, that's why I speak of the first purpose principle. You gotta help yourself first and then others. All right? Health. And so with that being said, yourself first, yourself first. So you gotta have a self-interest. Interest in your health. All right? Self-interest in your health. Core. All right? We can call it foundation as well. It is the first foundation. It's just that foundation is a bit of an extension. Because core is, you know, core is diet, exercise, sleep. That's all core is. But foundation is, you know, also foundation. Foundation is also plus meditation and environment. Environment because, you know, you gotta cut stuff out from your environment. You know, it's like minimalism. I call it scaling back. All right? You gotta have a self-interest in yourself and obsession. You gotta be obsessed with improvement. You gotta be obsessed with improving yourself. You gotta be obsessed with improving yourself. All right? You start with obsessed with improving with yourself. You can look at it that way. But technically, from health, it is actually self. And obviously, well, this is just a characteristic. So you always go from yourself, obviously, first. You know, the self is always number one. Always. Your health is number one priority of everything. It's the number one of everything. All right? Without your health, you can't improve your business. Without your health, you're nothing. You can't help anyone. So your health is the most important thing. All right? I don't know how many times I have to, you know, or how many different ways I have to, you know, explain this. But this is just the most important thing. And especially in the beginning, but I don't care who you are actually. I don't care how wealthy you are. I don't care how successful you are. You don't have your diet and exercise. This will come later. This is later, all right? You can, you know, you don't have to worry too much about sleep because you will fix your sleep once you fix your diet and exercise, all right? And then later meditation as well, and then your sleep, you know. So core, you know, they fluctuate here a little bit, you know. Core and foundation, they're always together, you know, like everything I say, you know, everything is together. If you're familiar with my philosophy by now, you understand that everything is connected, everything is together. Everything is health, nothing else matters, all right? I don't care about free will, I don't care, all of that is irrelevant. Everything is irrelevant in philosophy except health. Philosophy should aid life. not just discuss life, all right? Because it's knowledge that we can use so that we can excel life, all right? Excel life. Life, all right? So life and experience and existence, they all become the same. You know? So you gotta be resilient. Without your health, you don't have a strong foundation. So eventually your business will falter. It will crack. It will, you know, be ruined. All right? Because what's a shell without the core? You know, nothing. All right? Without the nucleus, what is the electron? Nothing. Without the nucleus, without the protons, neutrons, what is, you know, electrons? Nothing, all right? Nothing. Obviously, both are important, but you gotta build your core, and then you will build the energy of the, you know, electron, so to speak. You have or nucleus here. Atom is the whole thing. Nucleus, electron, the whole thing is atom. So you see, even physics makes sense when it comes to life and health, all right? It's all is just connected. So you build your diet, you build your exercise, but you gotta understand how you're doing, like, so that is your journey, you know? You discover your diet, you discover your exercise, but with my help, you will excel faster because I've already done a lot of stuff. So you got to find your diet. I know exactly how you should find your diet. You can check my other videos, but there is more to it. So you got to have experience. You gotta do the thing. You gotta take action. Action or movement or motion, as I call it, is the most important thing. Motion is life, all right? Motion is life. And when I speak of resilience, and, you know, struggle, resilience, we evolved like this, all right? With struggle and resilience. Imagine in nature, of course all these hardships, all the hard weather, cold weather, warm weather, lack of food, lack of this, lack of that, lack of love, lack of partner, lack of everything, and extreme hardship and struggle, you know, we had all that, and despite that, we still survived, we still have health left. As long as you live, you have health left. You have something in you left. As long as you live, as long as your brain works, your brain is, you know, the most important thing. But your stomach as well, abdomen, of course, as well, your core, you gotta have your core and your brain, because, you know, they're connected, you know. Like I always, you know, say here, your core and your brain. Core. Your core and brain, they're connected. It's always two. Well, the same way diet and exercise, they come in two, all right? Struggle, resilience, you build this when you build your core, your exercise and diet, especially that, all right? That is super important, because that is how you remove garbage. That is how you remove depression, low self-esteem, everything. What else? Mood swings, addictions. I don't care what kind of addictions there are, insecurity. They're all the same thing. Depression, mood swings, all of this stuff is the same thing. All of this stuff is the same thing. All right? You get rid of all of that stuff by working on your core, working on your foundation. That is how you excel in life. And I don't care if you're successful. I don't care if you're successful, if you're fat and you're still successful, you still aren't as successful as you could be. All right? Your foundation is still terrible. All right? Even if you're not fat, you can still inflame your body. You can, even when I see you, I can smell you basically. I can see that you lack resilience. I can see weakness. Strong people can smell fear. Strong people can smell fear. They can smell weakness. And I can smell it from miles away because I see that you are nothing to me because you don't have a foundation. I can't respect you because you haven't worked with yourself. I cannot respect you if you haven't worked with yourself. I will respect anyone who has worked with themselves and especially those who have a strong core. All right, that is the most important, and a strong foundation. That is the most important, especially first foundation. Now even more, second foundation, third and fourth foundation. Now we're speaking, top of the top, like the greatest genius same spirits. I want you to become a great genius same spirit. Same spirit because we're the same spirit. All right. There is actually a lineage that I believe in that is, from history, from Heraclitus to Epicurus, and forward. I believe there is a whole, lineage there that is of the same spirit. Perhaps I'll make a different video for that because I don't think everything is connected, but I don't know if it's if it fits here. What is health? What is health? Health is everything. Struggle. Without struggle, you don't have resilience. And without struggle, you don't have strength. You don't have strength. Without struggle, you don't have resilience. We evolved with struggle. We built strength. We build strength. We build a stronger character. All right? And that you do that through these practical methods. There is nothing all beliefs, there is so much junk out there. Almost 99% of what people speak of is junk. The divine this, the divine that. People are impressed with nonsense. People are just impressed with nonsense. Let's cut the nonsense, all right? Because if we keep on listening to everyone and everything, we will just be noise, we will clog ourselves, you will never reach your core, who you truly are, and you can never improve your health and realize that you have to be obsessed with improving and you have to have a self-interest in yourself, and then you can have interest in others, all right? We move from the core outwards. Core outwards. Core outwards. Not core inwards, like most people. This is most few. The few do this, the most do this, all right? The masses, or technically, the masses are most, and the few are the great. The few are the great, and anything that is mediocre and great and grandness is great, but the grandness comes from the small and then it becomes big. The same way the universe was small, tiny, from the few became great. All right? That is you as well. You are this dot, and then you become greatness. You inflate, you're like inflation in physics, all right? You're the same thing. You're the same thing as the universe. You're the same thing as the universe. Be the same thing as the universe. Don't be these slow-moving nothingness, all right? Don't be that. Be light. Be the light. Be the beacon of hope, all right? Save humanity. Save humanity. There is nothing to save, all right? There is nothing to save with humanity. There is only about improving your core, nothing else, because your experience is all you have. You have nothing else in life. Don't waste your life on anything except your health. Focus only on your health and nothing else, and obviously your task, but you first have to focus on your core before you can even discover your task. You have no idea what you want to do in life because you haven't worked on yourself. You don't have a first foundation and you expect to have a second and third and fourth foundation. No, you're going backwards in life. Almost everyone goes backwards in life. Now, obviously, I know that a lot of people struggle and, they find their way, and that is the whole point in life. But I'm here to tell you a certain way. Well, a certain way. I mean, the guiding principles so that you can, move, so that you understand where to move, so that you have a goal, a direction. Start with yourself. Like Buddha says, like every single mystic says, you work from your heart, your core, cœur, from French, Old French or Latin. It means body or heart. Core means heart. All right? You work with your heart, all right? Your heart is everything. If it doesn't pump, you have nothing. If it doesn't pump, you have nothing. Your brain has nothing. It needs oxygen from the heart. And that is how everything works, Core, heart, perhaps it's three. Without the heart, we have nothing. Our stomach, heart, and brain are the most important things in life. Perhaps they come in three instead. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about symbolism. Don't worry about symbolism. Don't worry about nonsense. Don't worry about nonsense. Worry just about how to improve your health. How to get rid of depression, low self-esteem, mood swings, addictions, sugar cravings, all sorts of digital addictions, be it digital or otherwise. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's all the same thing, and the solution is the same for everything. The same way physics has to have a theory of everything. It's just that they can't realize it because they haven't worked on themselves. Imagine if all physicists, imagine if everyone worked on their core. Imagine if everyone had, a perfected core. Perfected core. Imagine you are this wealthy person, all right? You're this wealthy person, but you are successful, and that's not everything, obviously, because we have deeper experiences. A lot of wealthy people, they don't feel satisfied because they don't have experiences that are deeper and intense, and thus, check my what is spirituality, and that is how you get there. And you also have to realize that life is not about balance We're not speaking of balance. Perfecting the core is not balance, all right? Don't be this. Balance is boring. Balance is mediocre. Balance is boring, mediocre. Mediocre, most, or masses. The masses are this, all right? The masses are this. Don't be that. Life is not about balance. Life is about counterbalancing everything, all right? So let's say I will give a concrete example here, all right? I will give you a concrete example. I'm not just, generalizing everything. All generalizations have specific utilizations and where to channel everything, all right? Where to work with everything. These are tools. This is practical, all right? So for example, you're you're working on your task. So your morning routine has to, energize you, and then you have your task, your task, you're working your gut off, you're working everything, and your days look like this, and perhaps you're losing a bit of energy, so this is someone else, and so I'm never losing energy. There is no way. I have so much purpose, I have so much meaning in me, so much purpose and meaning in me, that I have so much core that I can do this forever and ever and ever and ever. I'm infinite. I am infinite because my core is infinite, because I've worked on myself. Both in the depths, I've experienced the depths and the heights. I've experienced both. I am the full human being. Now, obviously, there is always something to improve. So I'm not the fullest human being. But you can't be that, because that is perfection. Once I get there, I will become pure energy or something. just like reaching nirvana, like a Buddha, fully enlightened. When you get there, you have nothing else to do on earth. You're done. Life is meaningless then. When I'm done, life will become meaningless to me. But now it is not meaningless, because this is the meaning for me. But not just this, practically, doing the stuff, diet, exercise, sleep, everything, all of that, that is the meaning. So always improving that will always exist. So I can't be perfect. It is impossible to be perfect. Don't chase perfection. Chase to be perfected, but not the perfection. You see, truth is subtle. Improvement, the process, you gotta love all that stuff. So you have all these, ups and downs through the day. The thing is to counterbalance stuff. When your work is this insane, then your sleep has to be this insane. All right? That is life. This is life. Not this mediocre, boring, it should be like waves in physics. What's called cosinus, sinus. I'm getting into a lot of physics again. My science is coming back, I never expected it like this. So it's great. So I had some use for it. I had some use for it. So it's great. There is some purpose behind everything I did, everything I do. There are no regrets, because everything has a use and a purpose. Everything I do has a purpose behind it, all right? Beneath it, behind it, in front of it, everything, all right? It has a goal, it has a history, it has a tradition and roots, but it also has its own creation, all right? If you don't understand what I'm saying, just keep on watching my stuff and you will understand what I'm saying. So your work is this is work. So you gotta counterbalance your work with, you gotta understand that the wave is you, not the not the area here, not the area here, I mean the wave itself, all right? Work, so you gotta meditate. I believe this is the most important thing. If you're a highly ambitious person, you have a business, you're an entrepreneur, I know that a lot of them work insanely, all right? Especially men, they are 100%, focusing on their task, nothing else, so they sacrifice their health, but you should never sacrifice your health. You have to understand what I'm saying here so that you counterbalance your life. You gotta implement stuff. You gotta work on your meditation. You also gotta work on your diet here. This is another thing, diet. So you see, this is a new way of seeing life. I didn't even think of this. It just occurred to me. All right, it just occurred to me. So life is like this. Life should be special, depths and heights, depths and heights, heights, amplitudes, depths, depths and heights. Now depths will be, relaxation and stuff like that. Perhaps even diet, because you're revitalizing yourself. And then you spend the energy. This is, recovery. It's always, the depths will be recovery. You see how beautiful metaphor it is? And the heights will be spending energy. All right? It's spending energy. You're giving yourself energy here with diet. You recover yourself. Technically, well, from this perspective, that is true. But once you eat, according to the body, you of course you give it energy, but you also always start inflammation as well. So, but there is no way you cannot do that. You can't avoid. Everything corrodes. Everything will corrode. That is why life is brief. You gotta be the light in the darkness. All right. So the same here. You can never avoid struggle. There's always inner struggle. The molecules have a struggle. It is very deep. That's why I'm speaking of life as deep. All these, bacteria, everything that works here, inflammation, pancreas and all that stuff, it works here, but it's still recovery. You're giving yourself energy, especially from this perspective. We're talking about the amplitudes of life here, and the depths, all right? You work intensely, all right? You're 100%, you're not even aware of yourself because you're 100% focused on your work, and this is creating cortisol, hormones and stuff like that. It just increases, but you gotta decrease it as well. If you increased it this much, you gotta decrease it this much. The same way with carbon dioxide right now, we have insane amounts of carbon dioxide in, this is my theory about carbon dioxide and climate change and all that stuff. I don't care what you believe, there is insane amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and the same way it's been like this, we have to go like this to counterbalance the carbon dioxide that's been intense and insane. We gotta relieve it. We gotta recover here. That's why meditation is super important to develop. You gotta find it. You gotta find your own, or create your own, discover your own. It's the same thing. And work on yourself to find it. Work on your core and foundation so that your work doesn't falter. This helps this, this helps this. They help each other. But if life isn't like this, your life is mediocre. It shouldn't be, life shouldn't be, like this, like meditation and work. No, that shouldn't be life. That is boring life. Work, meditation, like So you don't have, nothing is special. Nothing is special. It should be spikes. Your life should be exciting and with spikes. It should be like my name with an N, all right? You see, everything is just connected and beautiful. Everything is just connected and beautiful. My name here, Nenad. You see, my name here, perfect, perfect. Even my Mitkovski, even my surname, perfect. You see, it's perfect. And it continues like this infinitely. And each and every one is one of my golden seeds I'm creating. All right? You're one of those. All right? You're one of those. I'm creating one of those. This is me. I'm the catalyst that creates the seeds. The catalyst. This is so beautiful. All right, I'm loving my philosophy. My philosophy is just, I just love this, This is just beautiful. You see, depths, heights. Life shouldn't be boringness. So don't listen to all these gurus out there. They talk about balance your life. You gotta balance this, you gotta balance that. No, you gotta counterbalance. You have your work, you're intense, you're passionate here. But you gotta be super passionate about recovering yourself as well. And passionate means obsession as well. You gotta be obsessed with yourself the same way, you gotta be obsessed with yourself the same way you're obsessed with your work. All right? That is how the foundation will work. Without the foundation and core, none of this will work. All right? You gotta have the foundation. You build on foundations, all right? You build on your core here. Core, foundation, first foundation, second foundation, third, and then fourth. And you see, now obviously, your core, it's like earth here, or the sun. And then you have, the rays. There's a ray going outwards. All right? The energy you put out from yourself toward, relaxing more, towards, fixing everything in your life. Fixing this. The rays are important as well, The rays is your work. Work you put out. The core puts out work. All right? And that is health. Can't be anything else but health. All right? It can't be anything else but health. Nothing else. This is it. This is everything. Like everything else, this is everything. All right? This is super important. You got to work on your core, work on your foundation. Don't lead a boring, non-existent life. All right? Don't waste it on politics and opinions and stuff like that. Don't waste it away. Focus on this. All right? This arrow here, the arrow of creation, not of death. The arrow of creation. All right? You spend energy, then you recover and regain energy, and then you spend it again next day, and then you recover again, and your life goes on and on and on like this. The same way the universe goes on and on and on like this. It just increases, the universe just, it never stops. The universe doesn't complain. Stop complaining. The universe and the dog or the animal in nature do not complain. All right? So be that as well. Stop being this, modern day prefrontal cortex, lazy, nonsense person. Create something, become a creator, and create your life, create your core and everything, and become greater become your fullest potential. That is what it means to be your fullest potential. A lot of people just speak about fullest potential, all right? Potential. Potential, all right? Fullest potential. Well, that is what it means, fullest potential. That is fullest potential, all right? And just, your fullest, like, you can look like this as well in the other sense, in that, this is your improvement. You see, the improvement is important, not like they say destination. Well, the destination is important because your higher desire, you desire this. This is your higher desire. Your higher desire is this. You don't desire this here. Lower desire. Or even worse, even worse, it's not even, most people, it's like this, it's like this. Boring life. No, we're not for boring life here. This is death, all right? Stillness is death. Motion is life, all right? Stillness is death. Stillness is death. The past is dead, past. The now is always in motion. The now, always in motion. The now is always in motion. The present moment is always, always, always in motion. It is life. It is struggle. It is, it forms you. It forms the core. All of that, it forms the core. But if you're still in life, nothing happens. You're stuck. That's why you have to realize the core and that you move outwards. You gotta have the obsession in you, in yourself. Find that interest in yourself. Improve you gotta be sick of yourself. Improve your depression or whatever you have. Mood swings, I don't care. You're lethargic. You're tired in the morning. All of that stuff. Your sleep, something. You have something, all right? I know that you have something because most of you, like 99%, even all the, global, it's like 99.9%, all right? All people are sick and unhealthy. Almost all right? There are very, very few people that aren't. It's like hunter-gatherer tribes or something. They are not, they're the best, but you are not the best. And we can be even better because we can create civilization plus that. We can have that goodness from being ancestral. We can have that goodness in creating our health and core, improving it, and plus the modern, success, all that stuff. Imagine both those things together, Imagine them fused together and creating, a bigger, atom or something. Fuse them together and build something greater. You see? The smaller, build something greater. You see? Makes perfect sense. So yeah, your lower desire. You desire all these snacks and garbage. These are your lower desires. Your higher desire is a great body and, resilience, strength, success, business, all of that stuff here. Partner, the partner you want to have. Not just mediocre partner, nothing mediocre. Not even your partner. Your business, everything should be like this, all right? Everything should be like this. Everything, or like this. Because it depends on how we look at, this is the improvement scale here. This is the amplitude graph here. Because the amplitude thing, life. But the improvement thing is, steps. This is more about steps and, this is more about life balance, or counterbalance. That's how it is. Counterbalance. You have all these steps. You got to be interested in your steps. You got to be interested in your steps. You got to find a self-interest in yourself. You got to love yourself. Now, within this self-interest becomes, obsession. The same way you love movies or something, the same way you love your games, you got to love yourself the same way you love your games, or whatever it is you're obsessed about, your passion. All right? You got to be passionate about yourself. You are the meaning of your own life. You are the meaning of your own life. You are the meaning of life. I am the meaning of life. All right? That's how it is. And look from yourself from the core outwards, not from what do I want in life and then inwards, just that. Of course you have a higher desire, but it comes from the core. I want to have a greater body. You see? Core. You improve the core. You care about your core. I want to have a beach body. Well, that is great. Work with that. That is great. That is the best. I want to have a beach body. Doesn't matter. You want to have a great body all year round. Start now, and then a year later, you will be successful, because you will have seen results with this body, and this body and these results will make you create more stuff, perhaps even become let's say, a personal trainer or something. And then you change your life forever. But you just continue like this, upper and upper, in the heights, all right? Doesn't matter what comes, you're ready, resilient, you're ready for everything, you're strong, you can run, your parent gets hurt, you run your life off, your core off. But you get there, you're ready, you're responsible, you help, everything, but you're smart, you don't panic, you're cool within yourself, and you're almost afraid of how cool you are within yourself, but not cold, you're still empathetic, you still love people, but you love yourself as well. You love both, but you can't love the other unless you love yourself, because you will have low self-esteem, you will be jealous, all of these things, jealousy, all that stuff, all the negativity stems from bad health. It stems from this that I've talked about today. All right. I know that I don't speak a lot, about, I give examples, but it is hard for me to go back, to return. All right. I am on the other side here. I don't care about opinions, let alone negative opinions. All right. The only negative opinion I have is the prefrontal cortex, when it asks itself, ask myself, what is the meaning of what I'm doing here, and so forth. And then my core is developed enough to not just go nihilistic and question the core. Never. It goes, how do I improve and take the next step so that I have joy in this habit I have here? The habit has to change. The patterns of my life, habits, the patterns of my life have to change, because I don't quite love them here like this right now. All right? I hope you understand what I'm saying. I hope you take this to heart, and that apply this stuff and change your life. All right? That is the whole purpose. My purpose is this. This is my purpose. All right? And you have your purpose. We all have our purposes, our meanings. And they're multiple. It doesn't have to be one thing. But there is one thing of you, and that is your core. There is only one core. You don't have a billion cores. All right? You have your personality likes a lot of stuff. You're passionate about a lot of stuff. Perhaps you're confused. But when you develop your core, you won't be confused. Because you get to your instincts, and not just get to them, you develop them. You eat properly. You eat like your ancestors. You eat, like an animal, and you will and you have to love it as well. You can't just eat like an animal and not loving it. gotta gorge like an animal, you know, like you gotta love the way you eat, you gotta love the way you sleep, you gotta love your health, you gotta love everything. So in some sense, everything is about love, after all, but you see, it is a different way of expressing this, you know. It's not just, you gotta love your neighbor, you gotta love this. No, that's not how it works. It doesn't work that way. That is wrong. You gotta love yourself first. And don't worry about being narcissistic. Don't worry about anything. Only worry about how to take these steps upwards, up in the heights. And how to, you know, relax yourself. When we speak of amplitudes here, how to relax yourself so you counterbalance these heights, you know? The same way Nietzsche speaks of, you know, in Zarathustra, he goes within himself, now he wants to just give a gift to the world. And then he has to recover himself because the world doesn't understand, you know, all that stuff. And then he goes within himself again and so forth, you know, like the amplitude. Out in the world, in the world, out in the world, in the world. Inner world, outer world. Outer, inner, external, internal. And your core is here. Without your core, nothing, none of these, you know, your core is beneath and always working behind the scenes, basically. All right? And the improvement has, you know, the principle of change here. You gotta be willing to change. I don't care who you are. All right? There are some successful people that had to drastically change their business and everything because it didn't align with loving themselves and loving what their task, their work. So you got to be willing to change, take the risk. Everything is a risk in life. Take the risk. Because in the long run you will love it. You will love this more than you will love this mediocre stuff here. All right? Your work is perhaps here, but you want to be here. You want to be beyond. All right? Beyond this. There's not enough room here. That is how life is, you know? There's not enough room for explaining the heights in life. The heights in life are just intense, and that is spirituality, all right? This is spirituality up here. That is spirituality. You see, all of this stuff is connected. It's just a different expression of the same thing. It's just a different expression of the same thing. So work on yourself, focus only on yourself, and all right, so tomorrow we'll see what we're going to talk about tomorrow. I just follow my instinct. We'll see what we're going to talk about. Perhaps I will do these, you know, your opinion on this and that, because perhaps I can delve deeper into the reasons why most people are wrong and why my thing, you know, in contrast to my stuff, perhaps it will be a great contrast to my stuff, because once you realize that all of everything is nonsense and useless and meaningless to revel on, you will realize that my philosophy is the only thing you have to work on. So health is the most important thing. It's the number one priority. Otherwise, everything will falter. I don't care who you are. Doesn't matter. This is universal. So tomorrow we'll see what we're going to talk about. If you have any questions, comment down below. I will answer everything. And no, I don't like your comments. I won't click the like button because that goes against, you know, everything I'm speaking of. Because it is not about liking stuff. It is about loving stuff, but also loving the struggle. All right? That is important. So the bad stuff, that means that the bad stuff is also good. So the dislike button is as good as the like button. All right, so so subscribe, whatever you need to do. My links are down below, Facebook stuff, Quora if you want to check that stuff. If you're highly ambitious, if you truly want to change, if you really, want to have a deeper life, a better life, a better life, well, a different step, technically, the one I showed here, you want to be here, not here, you want to be at your higher desires, contact me. We will see what we can create together. If it works, if we're a match, I don't take on anyone. I only take on the best. And not just the best, I want to elevate the best so that the best can elevate everyone else, all right? That is how I'm the catalyst of everything. Okay, so now I understand what this is, and keep on working on yourself, keep on focusing only on yourself, be the light, life is brief, be the light in the darkness, be that core, all right, the sun, the yellow, be that, be health, the whiteness, health is more white, core is more yellow, all right, so I will see you people, all my golden seeds, same spirits, geniuses. I will see you tomorrow.